Hey guys, so this is gonna be like a really scuffed tutorial on how to use walls, windows, and making custom doors on pennies and plushies. Hopefully this video helps y'all. I don't make tutorials normally and I mess up here and there, so we're learning together. Alright, so the rule of thumb with these walls is that there are two different types in pennies and plushies. There is the click and drag wall, which is this one. It is gridlocked even without snap. Anywhere you go, it's gridlocked. The only good thing about this is that it is easier to place and you can place windows on these without having to worry about them. But even though you can place windows, you can't resize them when they're on the wall. That is the main downside to these kinds of walls, and that's why we will also be using the wall pieces that are not gridlocked. They are freely placeable. Only downside is they don't snap the windows inside like the normal click and drag walls do, but these ones do allow you to change the height of the windows that you want. Same window that we used in the previous wall, but I want it a little bit taller and a little bit skinnier to fit this wall, and voila. There we go. Now you have a window inside a wall, but you just have to manually place these wall pieces in order for it to work. This applies to any house that you're doing for this current update. They may have not changed this, but currently that is what we're going to be working with. Okay, so the first step to actually like building is to find a Pinterest reference. Today we are going to be using this one, which is unfortunately AI modified. I am very much against AI art and trying to, you know, like take over a bunch of all these people's hard work, but we're gonna be the humans that remake this crappy. Like you can see the bushes are all messed up and everything, and we're just gonna use it anyways because it is very square, very boxy, very easy. It shouldn't be too difficult, so all of you can do it with or without Builder's Pass. So today we're just gonna be doing the exterior. Unfortunately this one is just the front, but I will show you guys how to deal with like the sides in the back if you don't have any reference photos for that. If you're a beginner, I do recommend like finding a 360 photo of whatever house you're doing. I found one earlier, but I don't remember where it is. Most of the time you just have to like study a bunch of all these houses and see which ones you like, how to use the windows, where to place them, where you want your rooms to be. Most of the time, determining where you want your rooms will help with like placing windows and walls and all that stuff. But we'll get to that. I'm gonna stop yapping and we're gonna go ahead and start on the wash. So typically I will look at the picture and then I will determine how big I want it on my plot. It doesn't have to be extremely accurate yet. I just eyeball it, honestly. This one that I'm using on the reference is like a big square. So I'm just gonna make like a big square and frame it out how I want it to. Another thing about using these click and drag walls is that if you are using them for your entire build and you want to add windows and stuff with them, I would make sure that you do it in one stroke, or else you'll have these weird individual pieces that I don't think they'll allow you to place windows on. Yeah, they'll start like glitching out like this. So you'd want to like remove these. They will give you the money back and replace the wall to make a singular one if you have an issue with that. Okay, now that I look at it, I think this is a little bit too long, so I'm just gonna make it like about 2 walls shorter. It does help to use the click and drag walls first, so that and if you do want to use these in your build afterwards, you won't have to mess with the grid being all weird. Okay, so now we have our basic framework. Is just the basic shell of the house right now. We're gonna make it quite small compared to the photo because I am a very small avatar. To make it easier for myself, I usually start with the bottom floor first and work upward. So we're just gonna be working with carving out this front portion. We're not gonna worry about the back just yet. There's like this big brick column on the side that I'm just gonna start out with these walls because I'm not gonna place any windows or anything on them. There's just gonna be a big column thing. It's a 2x2 column. Is that a little too thick? I don't know. We'll work around it. We'll work around this. We're working around a 2x2 column. I don't think it needs to be that tall. It's just super thick. Nah, it's fine. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So for this build, I'm not going to worry about the foundations. We're just going to make it super simple, but we're going to use the trick that we were talking about with the walls and the windows being resized. We're going to start with the bottom left corner, and I bought these small glass windows because I want to make my own windows. And it looks like this wall extends out and like another one backwards because the bottom left side is a little bit deeper, and we're going to use this area to fill it in. So we're going to take this small glass window. If it helps, I usually leave my snap on like 1 or 0.5. We're going to try 0.5 and see if this works, that it lines up enough. We know that it's straight along with the wall. So we're gonna place that there. I'm gonna turn snap off and resize this to the max size. Let's see how far it goes. Okay, it goes about that far lengthwise, but the door is a little bit skinnier. So I'm gonna make it about this skinny, and we're gonna try and see how tall it goes too. Okay, it looks like this window is resizable to what we need it to be. Some objects have a size limit, which is why I bought multiple pieces. There we go. Now you have the glass part. Then next we're going to try to find a door that matches it. Majority of the time there might not be a door that works for this, so we're just going to use the best we could do with Alright, so this is the first issue we've gone to. There is not a door that works for this. Either the handle is wrong or there's too much pattern going on. So we're gonna try and make a custom partially open door. I'm gonna take one of these wall pieces and then let's just keep it about the same thickness. We're gonna rotate it, snap off about that much, enough to where you can fit a person in. And we're just gonna drag and let's line the hinge up with this wall right here. Not too far. About like that. I think that would work. And then we're gonna make it a little bit taller just so it can hit the ceiling, because it's like it hits the ceiling in the photo. Extend it out a little bit so it's like it closes properly. Bring this out a little bit more. It's a very tight squeeze for me. I'm a small avatar, so I hope people who are normal size can get through it. We're actually gonna make this door a little bit skinnier in that case. And there we go. Now we have a slightly open door. Okay, so actually I'm going to fix this. It looks like it doesn't fit in the hole, so we're just gonna estimate how big this hole is, and then we're gonna extend this guy outward. This is just a very bold approximation because I'm gonna be rotating out anyways. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. We're just gonna move it back to where it was. Let's see if I can still fit through. Just barely. We're gonna rotate out just a little bit more. Okay, my eyes are kind of hurting from this grass texture. I am gonna start adding a floor. We're just gonna add a normal floor because it seems to be a simple texture. We don't really need a decal for it. Depending on how many rooms you want to get multiple flooring types because you have to change them all individually. And for this one specifically, I'm going to make it the patio. You see it's a little bit thick. If you don't mind that, you don't have to worry about it, but I prefer mine a little bit lower. So I'm just going to resize it, flatten like that. When you resize stuff like this, I kind of just eyeball it and micro adjust until you don't see a shadow where it lines up. And if you look closely, it's practically perfectly aligned. On this side, we're going to just extend the floor over and we're going to put it right against this window. Like a third of the way through so it doesn't bleed through into the living room. Then I'm going to duplicate this floor, scoot it over, align it just enough, and we can always adjust it later. I'm going to just extend this outward this way. Pretty much just if you want a certain type of floor on an entire area, you can just fill the entire area with one piece. But for pieces like this, you're going to also need individual flooring. It looks like it ends like about halfway here. Maybe it goes like the kitchen or something. So I'm actually just going to end it at the pillar. And then we're going to duplicate this, make it a little bit smaller so it fits in this gap right here. And then make it shorter. Micro adjust. And the reason why I want to micro adjust that one is because if I change the color, let's just say I want brown flooring, but I want to make it a wood floor texture, I just want to make sure that these line up. So always double check that your floor colors line up, that way they don't become all clippy and weird and stuff like that. And for this front one, I'm gonna make it, there's not like a concrete texture that I can see. On my previous cafe build, I used snow for like the sidewalk, so I might just do that here. Yeah, that is not too bad. So now we're gonna finish up the window. I love using these wall pieces. And FYI, the next item you place currently in the current update of the game, if you have the color palette open with like a new texture, new color, the next item you place down will have the exact same palette. So you're just gonna have to like manually readjust. Or what I usually do is I go into an object that I want the next object to be the color of, open the palette, close the palette, and then place the object I want. That way it doesn't get messed with and become like the concrete floor that I don't want it to be. I'm gonna be using this wall piece now to make the frame of the window. We're just gonna turn that black real quick. And here you can either calculate this or just manually adjust. Like I'm doing the glass, kind of makes it look a little funky. I'm just gonna try my best to make it like a thin frame, but not super thin. Let's make it about that thick. Make it a little bit taller, just enough so that it cuts the lip of the glass, but not above the wall. And I'm gonna take this, turn snap on. Make sure you take the numbers off if you want something like flip over immediately. Like this one, if I turn snap on with no number, it's gonna go from like 45 to 90 to 180 to whatever. This is like the easiest way for you to snap rotate all of your objects. I'm gonna turn snap back off and then move this down and then extend it out all the way to this side of the window. And then I'm gonna take this one and then clone it to the other side. Make sure that they're about the same thickness. You usually want to try and not let this clip through the wall too much, or else like if you clone it and it goes on the other side, it might be thicker than you anticipated it to be. So just better safe than sorry. Now I'm gonna take the bottom one and clone it up to the top. That's a little too high. Well, this is just a bunch of eyeballing. I have to adjust the window, it's just a little bit too tall. There we go. It takes some time, so just be patient with it. Take it slow. In the picture, it looks like it has a couple more dividers. So we're gonna take this right side, just drag it out just about there. And then we're gonna take this top one, because it's already horizontal for me, just enough to where I want it to be. And then we're gonna get this vertical one. You can either snap this if you really want to. I'm just gonna eyeball it, make sure it's in the middle. And then we're gonna resize it upward, so it like cuts the top window. Alright, in the picture, the door seems to be like a dark wood color as well. So I'm just gonna make it a dark brown. I just got eyeballed the color, make it a little bit more gray, a little bit darker. And then I'm just gonna take one of, oh, I'm out of walls. We're gonna buy more walls. Let's buy these wall pieces. These are pretty cheap, so I usually use it for stuff like this, framework or whatever. Gonna copy this, and then I don't know, I have no idea what the angle of this door is, so I'm just gonna eyeball it and wait until like this green outline, make sure it flattens against the door. It's gonna take some trial and error. You're gonna have to rotate it quite a bit if you don't know. And this handle is quite low, so I guess I can reach it. It looks like it might be like one of those where you have to pull it out and then there's like two more, but we're just gonna save item placements and leave it like this. So there's the door and there's the window. Okay, now I'm going to recolor the pillar. This first color looks like it's gonna be the inside. So these click and drag walls are also double-sided if you want an inside color to be different. I'm not going to use any decals for this exterior. I'm just going to try my best to replicate it. We're just going to make it bricks, and then we're going to make it a little bit more yellowish. Oh, actually a little more gray. There we go. Why is that like a different color? Oh. See, I already made the mistake of making on the wrong side. Oh my gosh. They're not gonna be perfect every time. I mean, you can tell I'm already messing up and I'm making a tutorial for y'all. Okay, that's the pillar. And I'm actually going to move this backwards because it looks like this wall extends out more. So pretty much what I did a while ago, I'm gonna do all over again. 1, 2, 1, 2. If you're lucky enough, maybe the wall will actually. Oh, I see. I'm learning with y'all. Oh my gosh. Alright, so right to left will reveal the second color on the object. Left to right will reveal the first color on your wall. I'm glad I learned that today. Alright, so now we finally got the pillar properly placed. As stated before, I'm only gonna focus on the exterior, so we're just gonna extend this wall a little bit. This side of the building looks like it has whatever that is that the AI put on. I'm just gonna say it's wood. Let's just make it wood. So that's the right side, and this one is actually completely pointless because I wanted to make it a little more orange. Like a dark orange. I'm gonna save that there, and then I saved it because we're gonna be adding the individual walls for this part too. Just to make my life a little bit easier, I'm gonna make the entire first floor wood. Same rules apply to these next windows. I don't like resizing full windows because the frame stretches along with it and it makes it look really weird and disproportionate. So I use the glass panes instead. It helps a lot. Actually, this panel is a little bit thicker. It might be like a sliding door or something, but we're just gonna keep it closed if that's the case. And now we are going to add back the two-sided wall this time. And we're going to use the method of snapping with no numbers to flip it 180 degrees. And And then we're gonna clone this. I do it this way so that the pattern for sure stays that way instead of rotating it and the pattern doesn't line up anymore. So we're just gonna take it exactly same vertical piece of a wall and we're gonna make it shorter so it lines up with the top of the window and then make it longer. It's a lot easier than trying to mess with everything else. Alright, we're gonna make this window a little bit shorter because the walls are actually the same width. And we're gonna make this a little bit shorter so there's no clipping. Make sure you double click off to check. It looks like it's still a little bit off. We are gonna take this same black vertical wall and move it over here. Are these same? Are these actually the same? Oh, actually it's a lot easier, so I don't have to adjust it at all. Make sure it lines up with the top of the window here. And drag it over on this side. Okay, so there's also like these two horizontal lines across the window. They look a little bit skinnier than the outer frame, so I'm just gonna make them a little bit thinner like that. And I'm gonna duplicate this. They're not exactly like a third across the window, they're a little bit higher. Okay, so right here, there's actually this weird AI thing that it made where this part is thicker. Now we're gonna actually adjust this guy because the one next to him is a little bit thicker. Scoot him over and make this guy shorter, but make him just a little bit thicker. Same with this side piece. Duplicate this guy because they're the same. Okay, now we're gonna start on the second part of this top piece, which I'm not entirely sure if this is accurate, but we're just gonna try it like this. So just to be safe, I'm gonna start right at this window, extend out. We're gonna go ahead and buy some more wall pieces. Let's just get about 15. Turn snapping on, line it up just about where it ends. Scoot it up. And then I'm gonna take it and resize it a little bit shorter than 5. Let's do 3 and stretch him over. Okay, so it looks like this guy is also... So we're just gonna clone this guy. I want the exact same thickness and because this is a white wall. Okay, now I'm just gonna drag this guy over. It's a little off, so I'm just gonna turn snapping off. Most of the time it doesn't really work in our favor, unfortunately, so you just have to eyeball it or put on a value that would fit. There we go. Readjust him as well. It looks like it's about the same thickness, it's just not the right height. So I'm gonna need to make him a little bit bigger and actually scoot it over because it's not supposed to be like that. I don't know why I put a country accent on that piece, I ignore that. Anyways. Okay, we're just gonna add that there. And I'm gonna remove this wall. We're gonna fix that later. And I'm gonna take this guy, turn snapping back on, rotate him that way. And I want it to curve inward here. Boom. I'm just gonna copy this guy over. Make sure he lines up with this wall. And make sure this guy lines up too. And adjust this guy's length and height. Oh my goodness. It's not lining up. See, this is how long usually it takes for me to like line something up properly. Okay, that's fine. That works. And then we're gonna just copy this guy and add him to the top. Oh my god, we're gonna do it again. Oh my Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna use free cam now, which is right click to rotate, like turn your camera, WASD to move. It works every once in a while, but it's also super sensitive and jittery, so if you like make the wrong move a lot of times or working with like smaller detail, it will go way too fast. So I only use it occasionally for stuff like this where my normal Roblox camera doesn't work. I will have to add like another layer of the normal wall pieces up on here. I wonder if this will stretch the pattern. Oh, wrong path. I don't know why I chose the wood. Oh, it's actually not terrible. That works perfectly. Make sure it doesn't mess with the pattern way too much. We'll say about there. Okay, I just noticed this piece extending really oddly far into this wall. Let's fix that because that is bothering me. It doesn't really matter, but it bothers me, so I'm just gonna fix it. Make sure the snap is turned on. We're gonna turn this 90 degrees exactly. Okay, so I have no idea how AI made this next part, so I'm just going to assume that it's a rectangle and we're gonna put it about this far out, make it a little bit shorter, and then extend it like this. I'm just gonna say it ends right where this wall ends because that's just the safest option. I may not replace this with the foundation. I mean, I don't think this is a bad option either. So it's really up to y'all if you want to use the wall or if you want to use the floor option for this. If my wall can do it, I guess I'm just keeping it as the wall. I mean, In the picture, it looks like it's more above the other balcony, but I'm just gonna make it more realistic and just be about this low. In the photo, it looks like this wall is actually extending more inward as well, so let's fix that. Okay, so I actually have no idea what I'm gonna make the interior yet, so I'm just gonna wing it and hope that whatever I make right now works later on when I actually do work on the interior. But for now, we're just gonna try and make it look as accurate as possible to the picture. Or well, make the picture as accurate as possible to, you know, real life because it's AI generated. And this part looks like it's supposed to be like a dark gray. For this part, I actually will add a floor because I want a top and bottom for the ceiling. We're just gonna adjust this to be about that high. So there's still a little bit of a border on the outside. Alright, let's put this to test and see if it actually changes. We might have to readjust that wall upstairs. But for now, we're just gonna change it to the wood floor it's supposed to be. And in the photo, it's almost the same darkness as the door. So we're gonna make it a little bit lighter. And we're gonna adjust this wall's height. I hope that doesn't mess with anything. Okay, we're gonna adjust this guy a little bit too. You really gotta be patient with this stuff, but it's all worth it in the end. Look at that, there's like a little ceiling now for a porch. Oh my goodness, it's so cute. It looks like my window has a little bit of a gap, so I'm just gonna fix that. Yeah, we're just gonna pull this back and hopefully that works. Ends at 50. And I guess we'll duplicate it. Oh my god, my camera's messing. This happens a lot whenever you're building in normal mode. Okay, so I'm just gonna make it about this small for this guy, because I may or may not extend a different one on the back. Haven't decided just yet. And I'm gonna adjust the height of this one too, so it matches the, I don't know if this dark is gonna match up. Well, anyways, it's not supposed to be that color anyways. We're gonna just make this we're gonna make it white. Let's just make it white. And we're also gonna make this one white. So looking through the house, the window looks like it shows that this back part extends further than I thought. The back is gonna look so flat and two-dimensional. Because this floor ends here conveniently, I'm just gonna add a staircase on this side so we can go upstairs. I'm just gonna use a pre-made staircase. That is one expensive staircase, oh my goodness. Let's add this floor, duplicate it, and try to fit it in this pillar thing. I think it was this color with this brick. Yeah. Okay, that's not terrible. I thought it was gonna be worse, but it's actually not that bad. Oh, it's pretty bad. Oh no. Okay. Alright, let's fix that. We are gonna add I don't have any more floors. We are gonna buy floors. We're gonna take this one, and I'm gonna need to get more money soon. And we're gonna take this and we're gonna move it up. I think that's fine. Wow, this is a really short balcony. Is it not? Am I going crazy? I thought I need to make it taller. Okay, let's make it about that tall. I don't even know if the other wall's relevant anymore. This one? Well, I guess it is. I think. I'm just gonna scoot them over. So this is fine. Oh, it's actually really nice. Okay, we're gonna adjust that top piece on the pillar because it make you a little bit taller. Okay, so this next part, this top part of the balcony, it has like 2 glass doors, but I'm just gonna make it 2 open slots because I don't want to mess with having to find a door that matches. Because I think we're in luck with this one, guys. I think we have a door that can work. This is the glass door I'm talking about. We can do this. This is doable. The one in the pictures is a little bit different, like it has no handle, but I could live without it. I mean, who cares? Oh, I ran to the window. Anyways, so we're gonna turn this black. Might need to make it a little bit thinner because it doesn't fit the door frame at the moment. And make this guy the top portion. Oh, he doesn't fit. We're just gonna have to set this guy up anyways because either way we're just gonna have to manually put in these windows. And now we're gonna duplicate this pillar frame thing. Scoot him up here. I think that's about how deep it is in there. And then we're gonna need this horizontal piece. We're gonna just extend this piece over. And for some reason it looks really weird. Oh, because this glass is way too... Why does it look so weird? Can you scoot it up? We're gonna shove that in that door. I'm gonna make this door a little bit shorter just because the glass is being all weird with it. Now we're just gonna need to duplicate this guy so that he can frame the rest of it. Now we just need the glass fence, which we're gonna make custom because the glass is connected and I want the glass to stay connected. We're gonna take this wall piece and we're gonna scoot it. Let's do it like right along the edge of where this lip is. We're gonna scoot this over, duplicate, snap on, rotate, and make it shorter. We're gonna make this guy a little bit thicker too. So now we're gonna take the window, copy it. We're gonna make it as best as we can. Duplicate this guy, resize this one. The glass doesn't really have a huge problem with clipping from what I can see, like into each other, but I just want to be safe. And we're gonna take this piece, rotate 90 degrees, and scoot it in. Gonna make sure the corners line up here. Then now I'm gonna copy this wall piece, and it's a little thicker than what I want, so I'm just gonna make it about this thin. Oh, I can't see, that's so green. I'm gonna make it a little bit flatter. We're gonna copy it, snap on, rotate 90. Let's resize this. Now we have our fence, yay! Okay, so this next part, the ceiling looks like it's literally just the floor. Just enough. And then resize him down. And then we're gonna copy this wall piece just to cover the front and the sides. So that is how that side will look, and this is the last balcony that we have to work with. These walls will be a little bit thicker, so we're just gonna make it a big pillar, like we're gonna clone that and put it in this corner, but this one will be a little bit more of a square shape. We're gonna add this piece right here for the bottom. We're gonna clone this piece so it can go on top. I do want a skinnier piece of walls, so we're going to take this one over here and scoot it over, and then it looks like it goes about a third by the wall like that. And then we're going to take these horizontal pieces as well, make it a little bit shorter. So it looks like in the photo the door is actually on like this side of the house, so I'm just gonna fill in this entire wall with a glass pane. Duplicate this with the pane. Oh, look how gorgeous that is. And then now we have another glass fence we need to work with. So we're gonna put it about here and make it shorter. And in this case, I'm just gonna take it and manually rotate 90. That's about lined up. And then we're gonna take the glass and center it. Make sure the edges line up so we get full use of the glass. And unfortunately, it's still not enough. Oh, we'll work with this. Duplicate, and we're gonna turn snap off and readjust this so they line up properly. Come on, y'all can do it. Alright, we're gonna take this upper frame, line it up accordingly. The refraction of the glass kind of messes me a little bit. Rotate 90. A lot of times with the rotating tool you have to rotate on each color until you realize like, oh, I wanted to rotate this way, not this way. You don't have to get it right the first time. Okay, so this is like officially the front of this AI generated modern house. I think this is about as far as I will go for this tutorial because I covered the floors, I covered the walls, any custom doors that you'd want to make. This is like one of the simpler ones. Custom windows, staircase we will cover on the interior. Upstairs we have the balcony with a frame that is not in line, and actually all these are. Make sure you check the inside of your houses or else they will have mistakes like this. We have this first balcony and we have this second balcony with the ceiling and floor differentiated. Very, very nice. As far as the rest of the house, interior, decorating, and plants, I will cover in the next video. I will probably make a whole series out of this just to make a tutorial on different sets and series of tools that you can use in this game to build your house. I usually specialize in like furniture and appliances and very minuscule everyday objects that I create custom if it's not in the game already. So just tune in, and if y'all are looking for a specific tutorial, I'll probably have a playlist up after I have all the videos uploaded. There's a lot of wall tricks that you have to learn. This is only like my third house I built in the game, so I'm still learning myself. This is what I've taken from the game so far, and I really enjoy it. So hopefully it helps making building a little bit easier for y'all, especially since a lot of games don't really allow this much creativity and like help you understand how to use the tools to your best of your ability and define the limits pretty much. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.